It's been a long time coming, but it's finally here. The FM26 match engine has been revealed, and today we're going to take a look at it, break it down, compare it to the old match engine with some side-by-side images to see just how far it's come, and we're also going to take a look at what kind of requirements your PC or laptop might need to be able to play this game, because spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it yet, it looks a lot better. And already you can see some of the on-pitch images happening below me, and you might be able to tell at a first glance just how cool this looks. Now, just to let you know, yes, FM26, they have shown us the match engine, and you can now wishlist the game, so you can go ahead and get ready to pre-order it on Steam, but currently still no release date. So I will say that outright, there is no release date for the game just yet, but we expect, based on all the news that we've seen, that we should be seeing this towards the start of November, and maybe some kind of beta or early access in the late October period, like every Football Manager game has been, other than that one that didn't happen. Now, I'm just going to talk over this video the first time we go through it. I'm not going to do anything crazy, but as you can see there, the first thing it says is the game is made by Unity, which we of course know. Unity is the new engine that they've built the game on, and the reason that there was a delay with the game, or should I say a cancellation, because they were building it from the ground up, and for that reason it had the cancellation and lots of unforeseen issues, but straight away you can see some better shading on the pitch, the fans look way more realistic compared to what we used to see in, I guess there's this kickoff button as well, so what it will show is a lot of Premier League matches, and you can see how the Premier League looks with that license. Here's some pre-game amble where, look, it doesn't look exactly like FC26 or anything like that, but it's certainly an improvement. But let's get into the on-the-pitch action that it then shows, where straight away you'll see the graphical improvements. It looks far better than what we've ever seen in an FM game before, but on top of just looking good, you will see some animations here that you've never seen. The game looks way more fluid, and it does mention that in a minute about fluid football. The way that they kick the ball seems so much different. I'm going to pause it in a second with this guy here. So if you played FM before, you know we're used to 2D dots and the ball just being basically straight line kicked, no real curvature. They've added that to recent years of FM, but it still doesn't look very realistic when they kick the ball. It feels like the ball's basically glued to them and then pops away. You don't really see the movement of the limbs and whatnot, but you can really see that here as you watch him cross this ball with actually a bit of curve. He gets under it, you see that then reflecting game as it then lifts up in the air. It says pure drama, does this little slow-mo motion, and the goalkeeper makes a save, and that's important to note because what you're about to see are some new goalkeeper save animations. As this keeper tips it over the bar, there's a free kick save where he gets it right in the corner. I think on that one he actually gets his hand to it and it still goes in, which isn't something you'd normally see in FM, and you can see the game has been totally built from the ground up, just the way that guy kicks a ball as well. I mean, it's going to keep going with some other little images of the game too, but it's just great to see that all the time we've waited has led to a big improvement the way they suggested. Now, like I say, I'm very much impressed with this. I think this is exactly what we needed to see with a new Football Manager game. Have the engine really fly off the mark, and it seems like a lot of people that have seen this and are posting about it on social media, whether they're FM creators or fans of FM, they're all saying good things. They are all saying that they're seeing the improvements. Now, I've got to say, I didn't expect it to look this good. And I know there's probably people out there who haven't played FM who are thinking, how on earth do you think this looks good? Look, this is not what we're used to. FM is a game where if it was just 2D dots and a simulation, we'd all still enjoy it. We have done for years. It's just the fact that now we can really see the game in motion with real players. And what I love is that they haven't gone, and I'm not saying they could have done this, but it doesn't feel too amazing graphically that it doesn't feel like Football Manager anymore. To me, this feels like exactly what we'd want to see. It's still Football Manager. It's still the game that we love, but it looks way better, and I like that. The fact they haven't completely ripped up the groundwork of what they've looked like previously and made a whole new looking game. And it doesn't show it in these clips, but there are some pictures on the Steam website that kind of show the Premier League branding in more action. So here you go. If you go to the Football Manager page on Steam, you'll be able to see a few different images of the game. I don't know if we click into them, whether we can go one by one like that, or at least it's not working on my computer. That's probably going to mean something for in a second when I tell you about the computers you're going to need to play this game. But you'll see with this Liverpool match here, it's still got the text commentary at the bottom. It still says Liverpool 1, Arsenal 0, but it's in a much better Premier League format, similar to what you'd see in real life. And that obviously is because of the new licenses they've got. If we go into this image a little bit further, if it lets me, there you go. This is exactly what I wanted to see. You can see here we've got on the bottom the ratings of all the players, the stamina of them. This is obviously the new look, and obviously all of these are non-final, but I think at this point this is what you're going to see with Football Manager. It might not be exactly like this, but this is definitely what you are going to get pretty much. Now, other things to note on here, you've got tactics, so that's how you get to your tactics screen. Instructions, I guess that's if you want to change the instructions on certain players or the tactic itself, and an easy way as well to change your mentality. If you've played FC before, this is basically where you go very attacking, ultra defensive, park the bus, whatever it's now called in the game. Here you can change it from balanced to positive to very attacking, but I like the screens here. This might not be every screen, obviously there's going to be different skins for the game and whatnot, but it's slimmed down, it's streamlined, it shows you everything you need to see. I mean, there's a cool little free kick, and I don't know how crazy it sounds to say this, but just look at the fans in the background and how much better they look normally. Now, I know they still look pretty primitive for the kind of games you'll see on the mainstream consoles nowadays, but that's way better than what we used to have. They were basically dots before, and now it looks way better. You can see as well some of the fatigue of the players has gone down in this match. There's also this picture of a trophy, which doesn't really show much, but you can see there's reflections in the picture, which these aren't things we've ever seen in FM before, so I'm very impressed. I think it looks really cool and it looks really sleek with the Premier League licensing. How it looks in different countries, I'm not so sure, but certainly for the Premier League, this looks fantastic, and it's exactly what we wanted to see when they announced a big change coming. But just how big are these improvements? Well, let me just run a couple of clips side by side of what we've seen recently and what we've seen in the old game. So these clips that you're seeing now, there's some old clips from FM24, which of course is the most recent Football Manager, and this is from a save that I've been using recently for a video I made, and it looks pretty cool. It looks like what we used to see with FM, but we knew we needed the graphical upgrade. And now if we quickly transition into the new Football Manager, you'll see just how good the changes are. It looks way more fluid, the animations are better, it looks like real people kicking a football, and the pitch and the general graphics look far better than what we've seen before. But of course, if a game looks way better than before, it's probably going to take a little bit more to run, and that leads us on to whether your PC is going to be able to handle FM. Now, with every game on Steam pretty much, if you go to the requirements for either Mac or Windows, you'll get an idea of what the minimum requirements are to play the game and the recommended to have it look the best. So look, I'm no PC expert. You can have a look at this and compare it to your PC or your laptop. I read something online, I think it was by Dr. Benji, who basically said minimum requirements. We're talking like 2016, 2017 kind of PCs and processors, where the recommended stuff is things that came out in, say, 2018, 2019. Now, I'm not a huge expert on PCs. You can have a look yourself and see if your PC is going to be able to handle this, but it is a much higher requirement threshold than what was needed for the last FM, I believe. And if you're on the Mac, you can also see the system requirements here. I think I should be good with this because I do play on Mac personally, but there you go. If you're thinking about upgrading your PC, now might be the time. If you're running on your potato from 1999, it might not work anymore. What should be said is you don't necessarily have to have the recommended requirements, have it running the way that we're seeing it here. I'm going to assume, I don't know this for sure, but I'm going to assume like any Football Manager game that we've played previously, if you want to move to 2D dots, you can. If you want to play it with less graphic power, you can do so if your PC can't handle it. I think most modern PCs can play FM that we see nowadays on maximum graphics perfectly fine. Whether that will be the case for this game remains to be seen. Again, the graphics aren't exactly like world-class and state-of-the-art, never seen before, so as long as you've got some kind of decent machine, I think you'll probably be fine, but just check it against those system requirements, make sure you're okay, and that is our first look at FM26. What do you think? When do you think the game's getting released? What features do you want to see? Let us know down below. Like the video if you're excited for the new FM game, and I'll see you as soon as we have more news.